Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Psalm 37, verse 4. Listen, I don't know who needs this today, but your soulmate is crying out to heaven right now. Not because they're weak, not because they're dramatic, but because they can't carry what they're feeling anymore. And this message is meant for you. Before we go any deeper, subscribe, hit like, and comment "I receive" so you lock this word in. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you what your soulmate is secretly praying for, what heaven is doing behind the scenes, and the one sign that will happen soon that proves this connection is real. And stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal the most unexpected reason your soulmate has been delayed. And it's not what you think. Right now, your soulmate is not okay. They are not sleeping peacefully. They are not just busy, are wrestling. They are breaking. They are calling out to God in a way they never have before. And the reason you're hearing this message is because your spirit has been feeling it. You've been thinking about them randomly. Their name has been popping into your mind for no reason. You've been seeing repeating numbers, songs, symbols, memories, and you thought it was just your imagination, but it wasn't. That's spiritual resonance. That's a soul-level signal. Now let me be clear, because some people get this wrong. This is not about obsession. This is not about chasing. This is not about begging someone to choose you. This is about divine alignment and divine timing. Because what's happening right now is bigger than romance. It's bigger than butterflies. It's bigger than who texts first. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven because they finally realized something. They cannot run from this connection anymore. But here's the twist. They are also terrified of it. They feel you. They sense you. They dream about you. But the closer they get, the more their wounds scream. And their wounds are loud. You need to understand this. Sometimes the person meant for you is not rejecting you. They are battling themselves. And the battle is not small. It's not casual. It's not "maybe I'm not ready." It's deeper. It's the kind of battle that makes a grown person cry in the dark. The kind of battle that makes someone fall to their knees and whisper, "God, please help me." Your soulmate is crying out to heaven because they are being confronted by their own patterns, their fear of love, their fear of commitment, their fear of being seen, their fear of being abandoned. And if they've been hurt before, they learned something dangerous. Learned to survive without love. They learned to act cold when they feel too much. They learned to disappear when their heart gets triggered. And now they met you. And your love is not like the others. Your energy touches places in them they didn't even know were broken. So they're crying out, because they don't know how to handle a connection that feels holy. Now let's talk psychology for a second, because I want you to understand what's happening on a real level. A soulmate connection often activates the nervous system, not because it's toxic, but because it's unfamiliar. Your soulmate may have grown up in emotional chaos, or emotional neglect, or they learned love equals pain. So when they meet someone safe, their brain doesn't know what to do. Their body says, "This feels intense, it must be dangerous." So they pull away, they shut down, they act confusing. They're crying because they don't want to lose you. They just don't know how to hold you. And that's why they're talking to God now. Because they can't fix this with logic. They can't fix it with distractions. They can't fix it with ego. They need spiritual help. And listen carefully. When someone is meant for you, God will deal with them even when you don't. You may have been sitting there wondering, why aren't they choosing me? Why are they acting distant? Why does it feel like they love me, but they won't step forward? And heaven is saying, they are being worked on, and not gently, not slowly, not softly. God is pulling the mask off their life. God is exposing the parts of them they kept hidden. God is confronting their pride. God is shaking their comfort. And that's why they're crying out, because the old version of them is dying. That might sting, but you need it. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven because they realize they messed up. Yes, they know. They know they pulled away too fast. They know they acted cold. They know they left you confused. They know they didn't protect the connection. They know they tried to act like they didn't care, but they cared. They cared so much that it scared them. And now they're feeling the consequences of their choices. Because God will not let them enjoy peace while they are running from purpose. Some of you, this person tried to replace you. They tried to move on. They tried to date other people. They tried to pretend you were just a phase. But nothing is working. Because when God marks a connection, you can't fake your way out of it. You can distract yourself. You can entertain yourself. You can numb yourself. But you cannot escape what's written. So they're crying. Because they finally understand you were not just another person. You were a divine mirror. And you reflected the parts of them they didn't want to face. Now I need you to hear this next part clearly. Because this message is not here to make you wait in pain. It's not here to make you tolerate disrespect. It's not here to make you romanticize confusion. No, this message is here to free you. Because while your soulmate is crying out to heaven, you are being prepared too. And this is where most people miss it. You think the story is only about them changing. But God is also refining you. Because the truth is, if they came back right now, the old you might accept the bare minimum. The old you might settle for crumbs. The old you might ignore red flags just to feel chosen. But God is not building that kind of love for you. Love that is clean, a love that is stable, a love that is mature, a love that doesn't make you question your worth. And that's why you've been going through what you've been going through. Some of you have been in a season of loneliness, a season of silence, a season where it feels like nothing is moving. But heaven is saying, something is moving, just not where your eyes can see. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven, and heaven is answering them. But the answer isn't instant reunion. The answer is transformation. Because God doesn't reunite people to repeat the same pain. God reunites people when the foundation is different. Now let me tell you something very specific. Because this is the part that makes this message not generic. Your soulmate has been crying out to heaven at night, late, when the world is quiet, when nobody can see them. They've been having moments where they suddenly feel overwhelmed, and they don't even know why. They might be driving, they might be in the shower, they might be lying in bed, and suddenly, your face hits their mind, and it's like something collapses inside them. They feel regret, they feel longing, they feel shame, they feel love, and it makes them emotional. But they don't tell anyone, because their pride is still fighting. And pride is a loud demon. Pride says, don't reach out. Don't admit you miss them. Don't be vulnerable. Don't be the one who comes back. But God is breaking that pride. And that's why they're crying. Because the more God breaks the pride, the more the real feelings rise. Now, you might be asking, how do I know this is real? How do I know I'm not just hoping? Let me give you 3 signs that this is truly your soulmate and not a fantasy. Sign: you've tried to forget them and it didn't work. You didn't just miss them like a normal ex. You missed them like a piece of you was missing. And even when you were doing fine, something in you still whispered their name. Second sign: you've grown because of the connection. Even if it hurts, even if it confused you, even if it triggered you. You became wiser. You became more self-aware. You started healing. Soulmates don't just give you pleasure, they push you into evolution. Third sign: you feel peace when you surrender it to God. Even if you still want them, even if you still love them. When you stop trying to control the outcome, something in you calms down. That's because deep down you know, if it's yours, God will bring it. Now listen, your soulmate is crying out to heaven, but they're also being tested, and this is important. Bring them back if they are still the same person who hurt you. God is not in the business of recycling pain, so your soulmate is being tested right now. Their character is being tested. Their maturity is being tested. Their ability to communicate is being tested. Their ability to choose love over ego is being tested. And they are struggling. That's why they're crying out. Because the test is hard, and it requires them to let go of who they used to be. Now I want to speak directly to you, because I can feel something in the spirit. Some of you have been blaming yourself. You've been saying, maybe I was too much. Maybe I scared them. Maybe I asked for too much. Maybe I wasn't enough. Stop. You were not too much. You were just real. And to someone who's used to fake love, real love feels like pressure. You were not asking for too much. Wrong person at the wrong time. But God is shifting the time. God is shifting the person. And that's why heaven is letting them feel the weight of losing you. Because sometimes people don't value gold until they touch dirt. You're just gone. And that is what's breaking them. Because for the first time, they feel what life is like without you. And it hurts. Now listen carefully. This next part is your mini cliffhanger moment. Because there is one thing your soulmate is about to do. One action, one step. And when it happens, you'll know this message was true. But before I tell you what it is, I need you to understand why it's happening now. Because God doesn't move randomly. God moves with precision. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven because God is preparing a divine turning point, a breaking point, a moment where they can't stay the same anymore. And when that moment comes, they will either rise or they will lose you for good. And heaven is making sure they understand the stakes. Now, what is the sign? The sign is this. They will reach out in a way that is different from before. Not casual, not breadcrumbs, not hey stranger, not WYD. No, it will be intentional. It will be sincere. It will feel heavier than a normal message. Because they won't be able to hide behind games anymore. Some of you will receive a long message. Some of you will receive an apology. Some of you will receive a confession. Some of you will receive an invitation to talk. And the reason it will feel so different is because it won't be coming from ego. It will be coming from conviction. And that is what God has been working on. Now let me address something else, because I can feel a lot of people watching this who have been hurt. You're saying, but what if they come back and hurt me again? That's a valid fear, and I'm not going to dismiss it. But here's what I want you to do. If they come back, do not rush. Do not collapse. Surrender your boundaries. Let them prove it. Let them show consistency. Let them show maturity. Let them show change. Because God's love is patient, yes, but God's love is also wise. Now, here comes the part you stayed for. The reason your soulmate has been delayed. And listen, this is going to hit deep. Your soulmate has been delayed because God is removing counterfeit connections. Yes, there are people around them right now that are not meant to stay. People they entertained out of loneliness. People they settled for out of fear. People who feed their ego, but not their soul. And God is stripping that. Because God will not send them to you while they still have spiritual attachments. Some of them are tied to exes. Some of them are tied to toxic friends. Some of them are tied to addiction. Some of them are tied to a lifestyle that doesn't match their purpose. Cutting cords. And cutting cords hurts. That's why they're crying out to heaven. Because when God removes what's not meant, it feels like a loss, even if it's necessary. And your soulmate is in that season. A season where everything that was fake is falling. And that includes their old identity. Now listen, this is the most important part of the entire message. Your soulmate crying out to heaven is not your responsibility. You are not their savior. You are not their therapist. You are not their fixer. You are not their emotional punching bag. You are their assignment, but God is their healer. So your job is to stay in peace. Because when you stay in peace, you send a signal to heaven, I trust you. And when you trust God, God moves faster than your anxiety ever could. Now I want to speak directly to the part of you that's tired, waiting. The part of you that's been praying. The part of you that's been crying too. Heaven sees you. God has not forgotten you. God is not punishing you. God is not teasing you. God is protecting you, because the love meant for you is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to build you. And if your soulmate is truly your soulmate, they will come back different. Not perfect, but different. More honest, more grounded, more accountable, more ready. Now let me leave you with this. If you're watching this and your heart is pounding, if you're watching this and tears are in your eyes, if you're watching this and you feel like something inside you just woke up, this is your confirmation. You are not crazy. You are not imagining it. You are not alone. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven, and heaven is responding. But heaven is not responding with comfort only. Heaven is responding with correction, with transformation, with preparation. So keep your head up, keep your standards high, keep your spirit clean, keep your heart open but protected. And most of all, keep trusting God, because what is meant for you will not miss you. And what God has written, no human fear can cancel. If this message spoke to you, subscribe, like, and comment "I receive." And if you want, comment "pray," and I'll send a prayer over your situation in the next video. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven, and the next chapter is closer than you think. And we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God. Romans 8:28. Listen closely, because this part is going to separate the people who are truly aligned from the people who are only emotionally attached. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven, but the question is, are you listening with faith or with fear? Because fear will make you rush. Fear will make you settle. Fear will make you chase signs instead of truth. But faith makes you still. Faith makes you strong. Faith makes you wait without losing your worth. And I need you to comment this right now if you're choosing faith. Comment "I trust God's timing." Seriously, type it like you mean it, because your words are seeds, and what you speak is what you water. Now, I want to go deeper into what your soulmate is experiencing in the spirit, because it's not just sadness, it's not just missing you, it's conviction. Your soulmate is being convicted, and conviction doesn't feel like a cute love story. It feels like pressure. It feels like discomfort. It feels like being exposed. They are realizing they cannot keep living the same way and still receive what God has for them. Is the truth. Your soulmate has been trying to love you with a broken definition of love. They thought love was control. They thought love was pride. They thought love was winning. They thought love was silence. They thought love was leaving first, so they didn't get left. But God is teaching them what love actually is. And love, real love, it is my responsibility. That's why they're crying out, because they finally understand. If they come toward you, they can't come halfway. They can't come with lies. They can't come with hidden intentions. They can't come with emotional immaturity. They have to come correctly. Now, I'm going to say something very specific again, because some of you need confirmation that this is your message. Your soulmate has been having dreams, and in those dreams, they see you walking away. They see you with someone else. Them. They see you glowing. They see you thriving. And they wake up with anxiety, because their spirit is sensing a truth. You are not going to wait forever. And that is what is forcing them to pray. So if you've been feeling this shift lately, if you've been feeling like you're finally detaching, comment, "I am letting go." Not because you don't love them, but because you love yourself too. Now let's talk about the spiritual side that nobody wants to admit. Some soulmate connections are delayed because the enemy attacks what is destined. Yes, and I'm not talking about spooky stuff. I'm talking about patterns. I'm talking about distractions. I'm talking about temptation. I'm talking about confusion. Because if the enemy can't destroy you, he'll try to delay you. He'll send counterfeits. He'll send distractions. He'll send people who look right but feel wrong. Wrong. And your soulmate, they fell for some of it. They got distracted. They got pulled off course. They entertained the wrong energy. And now they're paying for it emotionally. Because counterfeit love always comes with a price. It looks fun at first. It feels easy at first, but it leaves you empty. And now they're crying out to heaven saying, "God, why do I still feel them? God, why can't I forget them? God, why do I feel guilty?" And heaven is answering, because that person was not random. Now, I want to guide you into something powerful, because this is not just a message, this is an activation. Right now, your soulmate is praying for clarity, but what they actually need is courage, and courage is expensive. Courage means admitting they were wrong. Courage means facing you. Courage means facing your pain. Courage means risking rejection. That's why they've been stuck. But God is pushing them. And I feel this strongly. For many of you, they are going to come back when you least expect it. Not when you're crying, not when you're begging, not when you're lonely. When you finally start glowing again, when you finally start living again, because the moment you stop making them your center, you become magnetic, and that's when the universe shifts. Now, if you're still here, I want you to comment something else. This is going to sound simple, but it's spiritual. Comment, "My love is not a game," because some of you have been treated like an option, and heaven is correcting that. Now listen, your soulmate is crying out to heaven because they are afraid they lost you forever. And that fear is not coming from nowhere. It's coming from the fact that you have been changing. Your energy has been changing. Your boundaries have been changing. Your standards have been changing. And you might not even realize it, but your spirit has been leveling up. And when you level up, everyone who is connected to you feels it. Your soulmate feels it. If they pretend, they don't. Now, here's another key truth. Sometimes your soulmate doesn't come back until they realize you are not guaranteed. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's real. Because when someone thinks you'll always be there, they get comfortable. But when they sense you're moving on, that comfort turns into panic. And panic turns into prayer. And prayer turns into transformation. So yes, your soulmate is crying out to heaven, but heaven is using your silence as the lesson. Now, I want you to take a deep breath, because I'm going to speak a prophetic truth that may hit you like lightning. Some of you, your soulmate is about to confess something they never told you before. Something they hid, something they were ashamed of, something that explains why they acted the way they did. And when you hear it, you're going to understand. Tolerate disrespect, but understand. Understanding gives you closure, and closure gives you power. Now comment, "I am ready for truth," because some of you have been living in confusion too long. Now, let me warn you with love, because I care about your heart. When they come back, they may become emotional, they may become intense, they may come apologetic, but do not confuse emotion with maturity. Let them show change over time. Let them show consistency. Let them show effort. Because real love is not a moment. Real love is a pattern. Now, here's the last thing I want to leave you with, and it's the most spiritual part of all. If God gave you this message, it's because your soulmate is not just meant to love you. They are meant to grow with you. They are meant to build with you. They are meant to heal with you. This connection is not just romance. It's an assignment. So yes, your soulmate is crying out to heaven, but you are being covered by heaven. So don't break, don't beg, don't chase. Pray, grow, glow, and let God handle what you cannot control. If this message reached your spirit, comment, "I receive this love in God's will." And if you want the next part of this message, where I explain the exact spiritual reason you've been seeing signs, synchronicities, and repeated dreams, comment part 2. Because trust me, what I'm about to reveal next will change the way you see this entire connection forever. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Now listen, because this is where it gets personal. This is where it gets real. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven, but what most people don't realize is this: when two souls are connected by God, the distance doesn't break the bond. It exposes what needs healing. That's why you've been feeling waves. Some days you're fine. Other days you feel heavy. Other days you feel like you miss them so much it doesn't even make sense. And you told yourself, "I should be over this by now." But your spirit is like, "No, this is deeper than memory." So if you've been feeling random waves of emotion lately, comment, "I feel them." Because you're not alone and you're not imagining it. Now I want to explain something that will set you free, because some of you are stuck in the wrong question. You keep asking, when will they come back? When will they text? When will they choose me? But heaven is asking you a different question. Are you ready to be loved correctly? Because some of you want the person, but you're still carrying pain from the old version of the story. If they return today, you might still be suspicious. You might still be guarded. You might still be angry. And I'm not blaming you. You've been through a lot. But God doesn't reunite souls to create a war zone. God reunites souls to create a sanctuary. So while your soulmate is crying out to heaven, God is also teaching you how to receive love. Not chase it, not prove yourself for it, not beg for it. Receive it. And that's a whole different level. If you're ready to receive instead of chase, comment, I am ready to receive. Now, I'm going to say something that might surprise you. Some of you think your soulmate is crying out to heaven because they miss you. That's part of it. But the deeper truth is this. They miss the version of themselves they felt when they were near you. Yes, when they were around you, they felt softer. They felt more human, hopeful. They felt seen. And now that you're not as close, they're back in their old world, back in their old habits, back in their old emptiness, back in their old distractions, and they hate it. Because once you taste real love, you can't enjoy fake peace anymore. So they're crying out to heaven saying, God, I don't want to go back to who I was. And heaven is saying, then don't. But change costs something. Change costs pride. Change costs comfort. Change costs ego. Change costs old friendships. Change costs old patterns. And your soulmate is paying that price right now. Now listen carefully, because I'm going to give you something very practical you can do tonight. Something spiritual and psychological at the same time. Stop checking. Stop stalking. Stop rereading. Stop trying to decode everything. Because the more you obsess, stay emotionally tied to the old version of them. And God is trying to bring you the new version. So tonight, do this. Pray one sentence. Just one. God, if this love is from you, align it in purity and peace. That's it. And then release it. If you're willing to pray that and let go, comment, I release control. Now, this is where the message becomes a warning and a promise at the same time. Some of you are about to be tested too. Because right when your soulmate starts waking up, a counterfeit is going to try to enter your life. Yes, someone is going to show interest. Someone is going to start flirting. Someone is going to offer attention. Someone is going to feel easy. And it's going to be tempting. Because you're tired, you're lonely, you want love, you want comfort. But don't trade destiny for distraction. Don't trade a God connection for a temporary high. Because counterfeits always show up when your blessing is close. If you understand this, comment, I will not settle. Now, I need to talk about the biggest lie people believe about soulmates. People think a soulmate is someone who never hurts you. That's not true. A soulmate is someone who triggers your healing. And sometimes, healing hurts. Not because love is painful, but because love exposes what pain already did to you. So if you've been triggered in this connection, comment, this is healing. Because it is. Now let me speak directly to the ones who feel like giving up. The ones who feel like, I'm tired, I'm done, I don't want to hope anymore. I get it, and I'm not here to guilt you. But I need you to know, your breakthrough is not always loud. Sometimes your breakthrough looks like silence. Sometimes your breakthrough looks like peace. Sometimes your breakthrough looks like you are finally sleeping at night. And the moment you choose peace, that's when heaven starts moving the pieces. Now, let's talk about the spiritual sign you've been ignoring. Your soulmate is crying out to heaven, and you've been seeing signs that look like closure. Not necessarily reunion, but closure. You keep seeing messages about letting go. You keep hearing songs about forgiveness. You keep getting reminders to heal. And you thought, does that mean it's over? No, it means God is cleaning the foundation. Because some of you are meant to reunite, but not with the same story, not with the same pain, not with the same immaturity. God is rewriting the relationship. So if you feel like God is cleaning your heart right now, comment, God is rewriting my story. Now here's the part that will hit you deep. Soulmate is crying out to heaven because they can't stop thinking about the one thing they never said to you, the one thing they held back, the one thing they swallowed, the one thing they were too proud to admit. And that one thing is, I love you. Not in a casual way, not in a temporary way, in a soul way. But they didn't know how to say it, because love makes you vulnerable. And vulnerability is terrifying for someone who's been hurt.